good, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you guys how to draw in melodies in FL Studio. Pretty much how to make melodies without using like a MIDI keyboard. And this is going to be the first time not using my piano in a video, which is going to be kind of hard because I'm addicted to like locking in on it. But just for today, I'm going to pretend I can't play the piano. And before we get started, make sure to go tap in with me on social media at envyral. But let's lock in. I usually don't really like to draw in melodies because it's like so much quicker for me to play it. Sometimes you can actually get like really cool melodies by drawing it in, because you can make stuff that sounds kind of unnatural if you would play it on the piano, or maybe it's like impossible to actually play it on the piano. Before we get started, I just want to say it really depends on what kind of melody you're trying to make. If the melody's more realistic, I would probably keep in mind how this would actually be played on the piano. Don't put too many notes in there because like obviously we only have 10 fingers. But if it's more of like a synth melody, you can honestly do anything. So I'm gonna just open up like a cool VST here. One thing you could do in the beginning is like turn on this typing keyboard and kind of get some ideas with your keyboard. So I'm literally playing on my computer keyboard, and I do that sometimes mainly to like test out the sound. But when you're starting, you know, I just like to honestly type in random stuff. Honestly, I think drawing is one of my weak points because I see so many people do it so fast. I'm just like used to playing the piano, but obviously you still got to do both because like there's gonna be times where you don't have a piano. You got it, so you can't be lacking. You got to know how to do both, like Van Gogh and Mozart. If you really need your training wheels, you can turn on the scales right here. But I don't think I've ever used these because like it just like it's redundant. I don't really need to know, and most of the time I don't even know what scale I'm in until the very end where I have to export the beat, so I like figure it out so the artist knows like what to put their auto tune on. All right, enough talking. Let's actually get into this. Bono, you can probably cut that out. Like, you can probably make that so much shorter. I just talked so much. I'm gonna grab a sound from my Labyrinth one-shot kit, and let's just, you know, get started making the melody. First thing, you just got to decide like what type of melody you want. Whether it's gonna be like some chill stuff or something darker. That matters because then you can use different kind of notes in the scale. So usually with any melody, there's chords that accompany it, and then there's like top lines that kind of, you know, solo on top of that. So you definitely have to know what chord you're going for, and then you can build on top of that. So if I want something like super dark, I can do C minor and then have like a melody that goes on top of this. Just some accent notes.
Okay. That shit was ass.
And obviously this is like super boring and basic, but my point is that it follows along with the chords. Everything kind of matches together. You don't have to make your chord super obvious. You can kind of think of the chord and fill it in with different notes here and there and kind of build the chord with like a skeleton. So the way to do that would be like, instead of just drawing the note down here, just have the top notes, and then down here just play notes that kind of emphasize the chord. So you can have like your root and fifth maybe, and then a third somewhere, and then have like, you know, the sixth, and then copy that. And then one thing you can do is like copy this again and add another layer on top of this that's higher up and just does different things. So you can see I have 3 layers right now. I have the main thing, which is the chord that I transformed into this kind of rhythmic thing. And then I have this little simple melody. And then I can also add like something else on top that's doing something different, maybe faster. Something you can do is mess around with like the timing of it. So I can make this twice as fast. I don't know how that's gonna sound, but I guess we can see. So that's obviously too fast, but you can, you know, mess around with the effects and stuff and make that sound cool. Another thing you could do is press Alt Y, which is gonna bring up the flipper and flip this horizontally. So that's also super weird, but it does allow you to do a lot of variations. So that was just an example melody. I'm not going to keep that because I thought that was kind of trash. But just to show you guys the triple thing, you can like layer up different things. So usually with other melodies, like melody doesn't always have to be just one coherent like progression. It can be like different layers of things on top of each other that are still coming out of the same instrument. But for the actual melody, I'm going to try to make something more peaceful, something more like futuristic sounding. So let's just start. And honestly, like in the very beginning, you can honestly play random notes and see where it goes. It doesn't really matter. But right now, I don't know what key I'm in or anything because it's only just 4 notes. It doesn't really matter. You know, you can figure that stuff out later when you build more chords and kind of get a key center going. So now you can see I'm kind of understanding the chords now. So what's happening is we're just going from a minor to the major chord here. So this is going to 6, 1, 4, and then 5. So after a while, you kind of start to hear that. Honestly, what I would recommend is just kind of pay attention to the root notes because that's going to guide you where the melody needs to go. So now let's just copy this, and I'm just going to replace it with another instrument to kind of fill this melody in more, because this is just a skeleton of chords. We want something more rhythmic in here. When you have your ghost notes turned on, I think that's one of these things here. If you don't see your ghost notes, you can go into view and press turn on ghost notes or ghost channels. This way you can see the previous chords fill in on top of this. And it's important to kind of think of melodies in your head and go along with it. And let's copy this and see how we can change it over and over again, because one thing I really like to do is kind of have a melody that repeats to build more consistency and, you know, make it repetitive in a way. And obviously we're gonna have to change some of these notes to match the chord maybe. And I want to put that in the mixer, and what I want to do is add a lot of delay on that and kind of make it more of an echoey background texture. And with this main thing, I'm going to put this in the mixer as well. And I'm going to open up Portal. On the main melody, I'm going to put Portal, and I'm going to go into my Mirrors Portal Bank and try out some of these presets. That's honestly super fire. I like this preset a lot. I use it a lot. Next, let's try on Halftime. I might replace the pluck. I might try out some different pluck sounds. I'm gonna go into my Elixir one-shot kit and grab a bass. I really like that distortion. I might use it on a section with like crazy drums, but for now I'm gonna mute that. Honestly, I'm gonna remove the bass. I don't really like that. What I want to do now is I want to add like some crazy synths that are gonna fill in most of the melody, because this lacks kind of some energy. So I might grab this Saint lead. This one, I'm just gonna honestly copy the main melody right here. I'm gonna use these fifths and build on top of that and add more rhythmic kind of stuff. I might add like an ARP in here, set this on stretch so it like matches the rhythm. Maybe make this a slide note or something. That's hard. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's super fire. And let's see what the distortion on the pluck sounds like for the hard part. It's like an aggressive kind of rock type of vibe. Alright, let's split this by channel, and then I'm going to get some drums going. Some crazy drums. Honestly, I might just get like regular spins. This would be hella hard with like the spins. All right, let's add the clap in. Let's make the hi-hats kind of simple. Honestly, I'm going to bring the double clap like right here instead of... let's maybe have a roll in the very beginning. Let's maybe switch up the 808 for the crazy section right here. I'm gonna unmute this little pluck that came in. Make this 808 a little bit more complex. Let's unmute this pluck right here, or the ARP I mean. Let's make this twice as long, honestly, and maybe we can bring in the distortion like at a later time. I'm gonna just create a quick automation clip for it. Really gonna add anything else. I think this is pretty much done. I hope you guys learned some new things about how to draw in melodies in FL Studio, and if you found this video helpful, make sure to let me know in the comments, and also give this a like and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out my future uploads. But that's it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.